Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley McManus. The city of Kenora is sure to have a new mayor come election day, with incumbent Dan Reynard stepping aside. 3 new candidates are vying for the mayor's seat. First-time candidates David Byers-Kitt and Andy Scribilo joined current city councillor Andrew Poirier in the race for the mayors of Ontario's westernmost city. Byers-Kitt is a self-described hard-working blue-collar guy and says it's time to give back to the community. Scribilo says it's his leadership skills and enthusiasm that will make him stand out. As a 3-term councillor, Poirier is running on his experience. All 3 candidates named homelessness or addictions as the biggest issue facing Kenora.
He's trying to encourage and think that a needle exchange program is something for the health and safety of it. I've never been a believer of being an enabler. We need an emergency shelter. We need protection for the vulnerable, the people that are hurting. We need to let them know that we're coming for them.
I'm in favor of a loitering bylaw so that there's not going to be congregation downtown. And the people flocking into Kenora now, we've got to get to the bottom of it, because our housing, like social housing, we just can't meet the demands.
When people would see police officers in the downtown core walking the streets, there was a sense and a small sense of security and safety, but we need to expand that substantially.
Poirier also says the community needs more housing and that he'll prioritize relationship building with upper levels of government and local Indigenous communities. For Scribilo, the number 2 issue is the need for more recreational options for Kenora's youth. And for Byers-Kitt, it's investing in residential infrastructure to pave the way for new housing construction. The Township of Manitouwadge also has 3 people running for mayor this October. Voters will have the choice between the incumbent mayor, a current councillor, and the township's former CAO. John McEachern is running for re-election. He's been the mayor of Manitouwadge for 2 separate terms and says there's still a lot of work that he wants to do. Up against McEachern are Jim Moffat and Margaret Hartling. Moffat is a local business owner who has served on council for 4 years, and he feels he's ready to take the next step and get more involved in the community. Hartling worked in the municipal offices for nearly 32 years and says she has the time and experience to put towards the mayor's position. We asked each candidate what the key issues they'd focus on.
One is the revitalization of the town, which we've started the project on, and we should finish it next year. The second thing is the ski hill that needs some serious work on it, and we need to have a new building up there. And the third thing is the asset management for the town that we've been working on for a while. And
well, a lot of the issues are, like, obviously infrastructure has always been it's an ongoing issue because we get a lot of water breaks. Roads need a lot of repairs, and another thing I want to focus on too is getting a relationship made with Pick River and Pick Mobert.
We have 2 major challenges right now. One is the infrastructure. You know, our streets and buildings are in a great need of repair or replacement, for that matter. The second is economic development. North Shore is booming right now, and I'd like for, with the wish of council again, to look and see what we can do to take advantage of that.
The Salvation Army in Sudbury is a busy place, and there's new leadership in some key positions. CTV's Amanda Hicks has the details.
What do you need? The Salvation Army runs 2 operations in Sudbury. One is this food bank and donation drop-off location on Notre Dame Avenue. And the other is the Salvation Army Cedar Place shelter, which serves women and children fleeing domestic violence. Barbara Ridley is the new executive director there and considers this a critically essential place.
I'm very happy to work at an organization like this, where women and children are really put first, and we are there to provide hope and help.
The shelter is seeing increased demand for services. Ridley says since she started a month ago, the facility's 22 beds have been in use each night, and many have had to be turned away. And the need is increasing as the temperatures begin to drop, with officials at this location saying close to 1,000 people use their services each month, 200 of whom are children. Pastors Jeff Robertson and Mia Bradburn took on new roles at the Notre Dame location, saying the high cost of living is leading to many facing food insecurity.
We see a lot of single people, and we also see families. We are also seeing more and more people that are new immigrants to Sudbury, and they are finding that it is a challenge to make ends meet.
But both say people shouldn't have to choose between warmth and food this winter.
As the cold weather comes, heating bills increase, and we want people to know that they don't have to choose between heat and food. They can eat because we will provide food for them.
Both locations are gearing up to launch various campaigns as we head into the holiday season, accepting financial, food, and toy donations. The annual Kettle campaign will start November 18th. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Announced in Kenora this week for a new seniors housing complex. Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford was joined by Minister for Long-Term Care Paul Calandra for the announcement. The complex is being developed by the Kenora District Services Board and All Nations Health Partners. It will include 56 residential suites as well as space for health services and other supports. By integrating housing with health services, the province hopes to reduce or delay the need for long-term care and hospitalization. Empty Bowls Caring Hearts held their 23rd annual fundraiser this afternoon in support of the Shelter House and the Thunder Bay Food Bank. The event was once again offered as a drive-through due to the uncertainty from the pandemic this year. Ticket holders had the choice between 5 types of soup prepared by 5 community organizations and a handmade pottery bowl crafted by artists from Thunder Bay Potters Guild. Bowl cozies, 50/50 raffle tickets, and hummus made by Roots Community Food Center Kitchen were also available for purchase. The event has raised over $375,000 over the last 23 years. And co-chairs of the organizing committee, Jay Stapleton and Robin Cooper, both say the need is great in the community.
A lot of the regular sources of funding for a lot of these community groups is not there. So it's great that we can come together, not in the way that we're used to, but still in a way that we can bring some dollars to these organizations that desperately need it right now.
We're glad that the community still wants to support us, and we hope that people will continue to support us. Like, we'd like there to be like a 45th annual Empty Bowls. The need is great, and we want to make sure that we support these organizations as much as possible.
Stapleton and Cooper are hoping they'll be able to go back to their roots and have the event held in person again next year. The Sleeping Giant Brewery's annual Oktoberfest celebration had a whole day of games and activities for all ages. And for the first time since the pandemic, they were able to have the event at full capacity. The afternoon festivities featured a number of family-friendly activities offered by Our Kids Count and Science North. Several Oktoberfest-themed games and competitions took place throughout the day, including a mini keg toss, malt bag races, and an apple juice stein holding competition. The daytime activities also featured 20 local artisans in the SGBC's Barrel House parking lot, offering everything from hand-poured candles to handmade jewelry. Sleeping Giant CEO Andrea Mulligan says she's happy to be able to have the event in person at full capacity again.
Oh, it's so wonderful just to see families coming out together, friends. We have a lot of large groups who've booked tickets tonight, and everyone's just looking together, looking to get together to have a great time, and just, again, minus those restrictions and being able to enjoy all the good things in life.
A portion of the proceeds from this year's Oktoberfest will be donated to Our Kids Count. The festivities and games will continue later on tonight. Joined now by sports anchor Kurt Black. Well, Kurt, when I start to see Halloween theme Oktoberfest, it really makes it feel like fall. But you know what also makes it feel like fall? Local hockey action.
It's been a busy week out on the ice, especially with the reigning Bill Sloan Cup champion, the Red Lake Miners in town. But let's just say Thunder Bay team's not rolling out the red carpet for the Miners because first it was the Walleyes shutting them out on Thursday. And then the North Stars, they were getting to business last night. We'll have those highlights right after the break.